Picture this. It is payday. You wake up, check your bank account, and suddenly you are rich. That number staring back at you feels infinite. You could buy anything. You could do anything. The world is your oyster. Fast forward 48 hours. You are eating instant ramen, calculating if you can afford gas, and wondering where the hell all your money went. If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. In fact, you are part of a fascinating psychological phenomenon that affects millions of people worldwide. Today, we're diving deep into the science behind why you feel like a millionaire on payday and a pauper by the weekend. Let's start with some cold, hard facts that might make you feel a little less crazy about your spending habits. According to a 2024 study by InMarket, consumer spending increases by 33% on payday. Not 5%, not 10%, 33%. And it doesn't stop there. The spending surge continues for at least another full day before finally returning to normal levels. Think about that for a second. If you normally spend $100 on a typical day, you are likely spending $133 on payday. Over a year, that is an extra $8,645 in spending just from this psychological trigger alone. But here is the cruel joke your brain is playing on you. That $2,847 isn't actually $2,847 of spending money. A huge chunk of it is already spoken for. Rent, utilities, car payment, insurance. All those bills you've been mentally tracking but haven't paid yet. Your rational brain knows this, but your emotional brain is doing mental gymnastics to justify spending. It is creating what Nobel Prize-winner Richard Thaler calls mental accounts. Thaler discovered that we don't treat all money equally. Money from different sources gets mentally categorized differently. Your salary feels different from a tax refund, which feels different from birthday money, which feels different from money you found in your old jacket. When your paycheck arrives, your brain creates a new mental account called fresh money. And fresh money feels like it has different rules. Fresh money feels like it should be enjoyed. Fresh money feels like it is separate from your real financial obligations. This is why you can be incredibly disciplined with your money when you are broke, but completely reckless when you are flush. It is not a character flaw. It is literally how your brain is wired. Now, let's talk about the second psychological force that is working against you: present bias. Present bias is the tendency to overvalue immediate rewards while undervaluing future consequences. It is why you'll eat the entire pizza tonight even though you know you'll regret it tomorrow. It is why you'll stay up until 3 a.m. binge watching Netflix even though you have work at 8 a.m. And it is definitely why you'll buy that new gadget today, even though you know you'll need that money for rent in 2 weeks. Here is where it gets fascinating. A 2024 study from researchers at Peking University and Zhongnan University found something remarkable about present bias and payday spending. They discovered that people who show signs of present bias, like being night owls or not exercising regularly, are significantly more likely to overspend immediately after payday. But people with better self-control, they don't show this pattern at all. The researchers also found evidence of what they call mental budget constraints. Even when people aren't actually cash constrained, they behave as if they have a fixed mental budget for the month. When they blow through a big chunk of it right after payday, they unconsciously reduce their spending for the rest of the month. This explains why you might find yourself eating more ramen and skipping social activities in the weeks before your next paycheck. Your brain is automatically adjusting to compensate for that early month splurge, even if you are not consciously aware of it. It is like your brain knows you messed up, but instead of preventing the initial mistake, it just makes you suffer through the consequences. Thanks, brain. But psychology isn't the only force working against you. Let's talk about the social and cultural pressures that amplify this cycle. We live in a world that is designed to separate you from your money as efficiently as possible, and companies know exactly when you get paid. Ever notice how sale emails seem to hit your inbox right around payday? How your social media feeds are suddenly full of ads for things you didn't even know you wanted? How friends seem to suggest more expensive activities right after you mentioned getting paid? This isn't coincidence. Companies spend billions of dollars studying consumer behavior, and they've cracked the payday code. They know you are more likely to make impulse purchases. They know your psychological defenses are down. They know you feel rich. And then there is the cultural expectation to treat yourself. We've turned payday into a celebration. You've survived another month. You've earned that nice dinner. You deserve that new outfit. But here is what nobody talks about. Treating yourself on payday is like celebrating finishing a marathon by immediately signing up for another one. While you are still exhausted from the first one, in Kenya, where this phenomenon has been extensively studied, researchers found something they call the end-month hustle culture. There is an unspoken expectation that when you get paid, you live it up. From weekend plans with friends to treating family, the social pressure to spend immediately after payday is enormous. And it is not just peer pressure. Family obligations often intensify around payday. Hata mimi ni tusi. The pressure to be generous when you have money is deeply cultural. Saying no to requests for help feels impossible when your account balance proves you have the money. Now, let's talk about something that has made this whole problem exponentially worse: how we pay for things. Remember when spending money actually felt like something? When you had to hand over physical cash and watch your wallet get thinner? Those days are long gone. Research from the University of Toronto found that people who primarily use credit cards overspend significantly more than those who use cash. When you pay with cash, you feel the pain of payment, that slight discomfort of watching your money disappear. But with credit cards, that pain is dulled, decoupled, delayed. You swipe now and worry later, and mobile payments? They've made it even worse. Studies show that mobile payments reduce transaction time from 40 seconds to 29 seconds and increase both the amount spent per transaction and the frequency of transactions. Buy now, pay later services have created an entirely new mental category. People literally think of BNPL payments as different from credit card debt. One woman in a study said she considered it cash because she didn't have monthly payments until she realized she was accumulating multiple BNPL obligations and getting into serious financial trouble. And here is the kicker, Suti. These apps and services are designed to hit you with notifications and offers right when you are most vulnerable. They know when you get paid. They know your spending patterns. They know exactly when to strike. So let's talk about what this cycle is actually costing you. And I don't just mean money. Every dollar you blow on payday splurges is a dollar that is not working for you. It is not earning interest. It is not being invested. It is not building your emergency fund. It is not moving you closer to financial freedom. Let's say you spend an extra $300 on payday splurges every month. That is $3,600 per year. If you invested that money instead, earning an average 7% annual return, you'd have over $50,000 in 10 years. In 20 years, almost $150,000. But the cost goes deeper than missed investment returns. This cycle creates chronic stress. It makes you feel like you are always behind, always struggling, always just one unexpected expense away from disaster. A 2025 survey found that only 41% of Americans could cover a $1,000 emergency expense. 43% would have to rely on credit cards, loans, or help from others. Over a quarter have no emergency savings at all. This isn't just about money, it is about security. It is about the ability to take risks, pursue opportunities, and live life on your own terms instead of being trapped in an endless cycle of feast and famine. But here is the good news. Once you understand the psychology behind this cycle, you can start to break it. Strategy number 1, automate everything. Before your paycheck even hits your account, set up automatic transfers to savings, investments, and bill payments. Make the money disappear before your brain can miscategorize it as spending money. The Save More Tomorrow program, developed by Richard Thaler himself, works because it commits you to saving future raises before you ever see them. You are not cutting into your current lifestyle. You are just not increasing your spending when your income goes up. Strategy number 2, create spending friction. Delete saved credit cards from online accounts. Use cash for discretionary spending. Set up alerts that require you to confirm large purchases. Make spending money feel like something again. Strategy number 3, change your payday narrative. Instead of, I got paid, time to celebrate. Try, I got paid, time to make my money work for me. Create new rituals around payday that don't involve spending 40. Maybe it is reviewing your investment portfolio, or setting new financial goals, or just taking a moment to appreciate the security you are building. Strategy number 4, use mental accounting to your advantage. Create separate accounts for different purposes. Have a fun money account that gets a small, fixed amount each month. When it is gone, it is gone. But your main account, that is for building wealth and security. Strategy number 5, address the underlying issues. If you are using payday splurges as a reward for surviving another month, find healthier rewards. If you are trying to keep up with friends who spend more than you, have honest conversations about money. If you are emotionally spending, find better coping mechanisms. And strategy number 6, build a community around financial health. Find friends who share your values. Join online communities focused on building wealth. Surround yourself with people who celebrate smart financial moves, not expensive purchases. But here is what I really want you to understand. Changing this cycle isn't about willpower. It is about working with your psychology, not against it. Your brain formed these patterns for a reason. They're trying to help you feel good, reduce stress, connect with others, enjoy life. The goal isn't to eliminate these needs, it is to meet them in ways that serve your long-term interests. Start small. Maybe you automate just 10% of your paycheck to savings. Maybe you wait 24 hours before making any non-essential purchases over $50. Maybe you find one free activity that feels like a treat. The key is to make changes that feel sustainable, not restrictive. If your new system feels like punishment, your brain will rebel against it. But if it feels like taking care of future you, that is a different story. I've seen people completely transform their relationship with money by understanding these psychological patterns. People who went from living paycheck to building substantial savings. People who broke free from the cycle of payday splurges and financial stress. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen, and it starts with understanding that your current patterns aren't a character flaw. They're just patterns, and patterns can be changed. So the next time payday rolls around and you feel that familiar rush of abundance, remember that feeling is lying to you. Not because you are weak or irresponsible, but because you are human. Your brain is doing what brains do, responding to immediate stimuli, seeking pleasure, avoiding pain, simplifying complex decisions. But you are more than just your immediate impulses. You have the ability to see the bigger picture, to make choices that serve your long-term interests, to build the kind of life you really want. The payday cycle isn't just about money. It is about freedom. It is about security. It is about choosing which part of yourself to listen to, the part that wants immediate gratification, or the part that wants to build something lasting. Understanding the psychology behind your spending patterns doesn't make you immune to them, but it does give you a fighting chance. It gives you the tools to work with your brain instead of against it. It gives you the power to make different choices. Your relationship with money is one of the most important relationships you'll ever have. It affects every other aspect of your life. Your stress levels, your relationships, your ability to take risks, your capacity to help others, your freedom to live life on your own terms. So be patient with yourself as you work to change these patterns. Celebrate small wins, learn from setbacks, keep educating yourself about the psychological forces that influence your decisions. Because breaking free from the payday cycle isn't just about having more money in your bank account. It is about proving to yourself that you can change, that you are not trapped by your past patterns, that you have the power to create the life you want, one decision at a time. The next time you feel rich, right after getting paid, remember this moment. Remember what you learned, and remember that true wealth isn't about feeling rich for a day. It is about building security that lasts a lifetime.